Go to Delegate Valderrama, House Bill 1338. Delegate, you can bring up your panel and start when ready.
This is me. Oh, I'm sorry. No pressure.
Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair, esteemed members of the Economic Matters Committee. For the record, Chris Valderrama here to present House Bill 1338. What this bill attempts to provide is a more balanced approach to the siting of battery energy storage systems, the BEST projects, by requiring a CPCN for nearly all energy storage devices, just as a way to provide a more inclusive process for integrating the community input into the placement of this emergent technology. So as it stands now, utilities have carte blanche authority to site smaller battery projects as they see fit without any community input, so to speak. There are no guidelines. Our major utilities, which have not always been aware or responsive to community needs, in my personal experience, are left to self-police in this important area. So this actually happened in my district just last year. So PEPCO opted to place a battery storage unit on property they already owned. So notwithstanding, I do understand the cost savings to PEPCO. They already owned the land and wanted to use it, but however, the location that they were looking at off Livingston Road was highly unsuitable for the siting of a battery storage unit. It was near an established neighborhood, near two public schools, one of which is my alma mater, Oxon Hill High School, and within feet of a well-attended daycare facility. So in other jurisdictions, usually these battery units are stored in industrial areas, usually, which are more suitable for this kind of use. So the constituents in the district fought for 3 years before PEPCO voluntarily pulled their project based on difficulties that they were having with their vendor, which I should add that their vendor was not effectively vetted, and they realized that somewhere down the process. So had there been any kind of community input, this project might not ever have gone forward. And the community where the BEST project was located was miles away from the site that they were trying to help assist that would benefit from this project, which would be National Harbor. So we see this happen sometimes, and our constituents tend to get silenced out from providing their community input, outmaneuvered and ignored by larger corporate interests. I do want to add, though, when I mentioned that project, I will add that PEPCO at the time was under a different, for lack of a better word, administration, leadership, what have you. So I just want to point out that the incoming PEPCO folks that we were dealing with, we really appreciate the assistance they provided that was able to have this project removed from our district. So many communities have concerns about this type of technology, and farming communities are concerned that prime farmland will be compromised, while urban and suburban communities, like the district that I represent, are largely concerned with protection from fire and contaminants. And with their ability to protect schools, daycare, hospitals, and residential communities from this emerging and sometimes unsafe and unhealthy technology. So I think we can all attest, all of us are concerned about the lack of best safety practices and training for those who will address the possible catastrophic results, including our firefighters, God forbid, should something go wrong. So I want to make clear that I support Maryland's efforts to reduce our carbon footprint, as I'm sure all of us here on this committee does as well. So I enthusiastically voted for the bills to limit our energy use. The constituents, though, my constituents, support Maryland's energy goals. So we need to address this important issue with all deliberate speed before some of the well-documented disasters that have occurred elsewhere, particularly out west, occur here in Maryland, or don't occur here in Maryland. So I believe that the established procedures of the CPCN, Certificate of Public Convenience, along the available expertise on the state level is our best option to address these safety issues. And with that, I would urge a favorable report of House Bill 1338.
Thanks, Vice Chair Crosby and members of the Economic Matters Committee. Thank you for the opportunity to provide testimony on House Bill 1338, Public Utilities Certificates of Public Convenience and Necessity for Energy Storage Devices. Again, I'm Leah Meredith, the Mid-Atlantic Regional Director of the Solar Energy Industries Association, or SEIA. SEIA is still the National Trade Association for the solar and storage industries, building a comprehensive vision for the advancement of these technologies. We work with our 1,200 member companies, which include solar and storage manufacturers, service providers, residential, community, and utility scale solar developers, installers, construction firms, investment firms, and other strategic partners to shape fair market rules that promote competition and the growth of reliable energy storage and low-cost solar power. Energy storage is critical to an efficient electric grid that will enable Marylanders to produce clean energy when it's abundant, store it, and send it back to the electricity grid when it's needed. When the grid is down, energy storage can provide critical backup power to emergency shelters, homes, hospitals, businesses, even neighborhoods. In many cases, energy storage assets can be deployed in lieu of traditional costly and slow investments to grid infrastructure. Utilities can also use storage to increase capacity of new energy deployment. HB 1338 would require storage assets to receive a Certificate of Public Convenience and Necessity, CPCN, from the Public Service Commission before beginning construction of any system with a capacity of 2 megawatts or larger. This is already the law of the land for new sources of electricity generation, and Maryland's CPCN process is well equipped to handle these types of complex permitting reviews. By allowing energy storage system to undergo the same administrative application and approval process as new sources of generation, HB 1338 takes an important step forward in ensuring storage assets can be deployed in a safe, routine, and consistent manner in Maryland and begin contributing to the reliability and resiliency of the state's electric grid. I urge a favorable report on House Bill 1338. Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no further questions, that concludes this bill hearing.